Social media was on trial this week when Meta founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg testified in an LA courtroom. He denied claims that his company's platforms, Facebook and Instagram, were intentionally engineered to be addictive and targeted teens and tweens. The president's daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, also weighed in on the topic. Yeah.
I see things like what has happened in Australia and what has happened in France, where you have a regulatory body saying, we're going to wait until these kids are at least a little bit older, 15, 16 years old. I would be very happy with a little bit of regulation in this space, just personally, as a mom.
Have you talked to your father-in-law about that?
I actually have. I don't know exactly where he stands. I've certainly told him where I stand on it, and I think it's something that he's taking an interest in.
Now, a lot of countries want to follow the footsteps of Australia, who banned social media for kids under 16. Yeah. So should the U.S. do that too, do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jonathan Haidt wrote a book, The Amazing Generation, and he came on the show, and then he came back. I need to remember his co-author's correct name, but The Amazing Generation, which is a companion book for tweens. I advise everybody, every parent, to go get this book immediately. I read it every night with the kids, and it's all about rebels who buck the trend of the screens. But Jonathan Haidt hit on something. The reason that book was so phenomenal was we lost a full generation when we didn't know what would happen afterwards. And Mark Zuckerberg knows better than what he's saying. These were designed to get as much time from us as we can. Time is the thing we're paying with. We're the product. Like, that's what's happening.
And if you noticed, he was testifying in a court of law instead of in front of Congress, as he did many years ago. And if you guys remember, when Trump took office, all of these tech guys were sitting in his inaugural and his swearing in. Believe me, they all got big yachts. They would have rather been in the Caribbean and St. Bart's on January 20th on a freezing day. They were there to try to put in their dibs so that they avoid precisely what Laura Trump was just saying, regulatory restrictions. They are, you know, this is a very pay-to-play administration. These tech guys are showing up everywhere. They're donating big money. And I think Congress is not doing its oversight duty. I think this administration is not doing its oversight duty. On this one time, I would tell Donald Trump, listen to your daughter-in-law.
Well, real quickly, Catherine Price was the co-author. And the reason Australia banned social media was because of Jonathan Haidt's book. The wife of one of the politicians read it and went to him and said, we've got to do more. We know more. We have to do more.
I think what's so interesting about this particular approach, the legal approach, is that they are attacking the product design. So it's a design product case in state court. And so there's not a lot of wiggle room there because they have the receipts, they have the evidence. As it turns out, internal documents that were leaked by that whistleblower, Frances Hogan, in 2021, she's a shero, shows that Meta was aware that Instagram worsened body image issues for 1 in 3 teenage girls and contributed to anxiety and depression. There's other research internally that indicated that parental supervision tools had very limited effectiveness in curbing compulsive social media use. And for me, the worst of it all was there was evidence that they targeted and studied underage users as young as 8 years old to get them addicted to social media.
Well, that's
evidence in this case, and I think that they'll probably win. And I will tell you, years ago, I would have said no way because there was a Supreme Court case that basically came down that said, you know, these are just platforms. They're not responsible for it. The people that are putting stuff on it would hold all responsibility. This is a different way of getting at it, and I think they're going to win.
I also think, too, you know, they knew that there were 4 million children that were under the age of 13 on the app. They had the data, and they still chose not to protect our children. And that's where I have the issue with it. And it's also, what's a good argument that I do here, though, is these tech giants need to be held accountable. But when does the parent come into the picture? Why is your 9-year-old on social media for 19? But I know, I had custody of my 10-year-old sister, and I was extremely strict on this. No social media. When it comes to your phone, I control it all from my phone. You have an hour a day on your phone. I approve what content, what contacts are added to your phone.
Because they don't have jobs, so they don't have money to buy a phone.
You guys, so one important thing is to look at our country and how many people work multiple jobs to put food on the table. When you are away from your kids just to make enough to keep a roof over their head, you can't be watching what they're doing. And oftentimes they're getting on with other kids and things, and there aren't really checks and balances. Anytime someone like a tech executive says, it's good enough for your child, but I would never let mine do it.
That's an issue.
That is the main message here. All of them.
Is that what Zuckerberg said?
Honestly, if you read, you can look almost any of them.
Really?
They won't put their social media in their own kids' hands because they know exactly how it's designed.
Why can't we? I take your point, but why can't there be phones for kids where all of these
There are dumb
applications?
phones.
Okay, so then
There are. My
why
kids
can't
have
there be
them.
a regulation that if you are under the age of 16, what you can have is a dumb phone?
Well, that regulation is just basically called mom and dad because my
Yes.
kids were made fun of because they had a flip phone. And the only people they could call were, they could call mommy, daddy, and 911. And that was it. And all their other friends had all kind of fancy phones. And my son was like, are we poor?
We need more parents who are concerned with being an actual parent and not their child's best
just
friend.
didn't have
Like she said, sometimes they're too busy.
Yeah, but we can't let these tech giants off the hook. It's got to be
There
a
is- I wanna
comprehensive.
tell you
It's got to be
something.
schools. It's got to be parents. But it's also got to be the folks that are making money by making all of us, adults
You know,
and
I
children,
was thinking how
addicted to this
it must
social
be
media.
very hard to do, technically even, but there is such a thing that's called age gating sites.
Yeah.
And Utah has been doing it since 2023. They use methods like they verify your age, like mandatory parental consent,
Yes.
requiring users to upload government-issued IDs, and they use AI to analyze selfie videos so that they can tell you how old you are.
Oh, interesting.
They also need to
Yeah.
avoid the algorithm for young people. They need to avoid selling the research on
Yeah.
the kids. But it's kind of like smoking. We can say all we
That's
want.
right.
Well, parents, you should just keep those cigarettes out of your kid's mouth. Or we can
but-
admit what eventually happened, which was the cigarettes themselves were a problem. We have to have regulation on
That's
both
right.
sides.
And they
That
had
is
to
right.
pay a huge amount of money
Yeah.
because they lost in court.
Yeah.
Yes.
And having said that, I'm completely addicted to this phone.
You are addicted to it.
Alyssa posted something the other day about
And
this.
I'm not 16 either.
She said, for as much as we talk about the dangers to kids, we also need to address the use of adults.
Yes, I know.
Yes,
Yeah.
without a doubt. I mean, I will say, as an adult, I grew up in the world of television.
Yeah.
But also, as an adult, sitting here on The View this week, the amount of hateful messages I have gotten on
Don't read
you
them.
fat
Girl, why do
MAGA
you read them?
supporter, this,
You cannot read those comments.
But the point in saying that is, if it affects me at almost 30 years old,
Yeah.
imagine how it affects these children.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you
Don't
imagine?
read them, Savannah.
Yeah, don't
Look
read
at
them.
me. Do not read them.
Yep, don't.
I'm trying not to.
Why?
trying.
You're addicted to reading them, aren't you?
Next topic.
Listen,